G'day, it's Gazza here again. In this little video, I'm going to talk about picks, which you can either pick individual notes with or strum with. I tend to use this little Fender plastic pick or something very similar to that most of the time. It's got a very bright sound on the strings. Alternatively to that, when I want to soften the sound a little bit, I use these pull rings off cans of tuna, cans of sardines. They're really easy to grip. They're obviously very cheap, and you know, they give you a nice soft sound. Yeah, good alternative. I do a lot of recordings with that, and also you can use your fingers too, but that's a more complicated method that I won't go into right now. I suggest if you're starting out, you probably start out with some kind of a pick. Then, so that covers your right hand. Your left hand, generally I use a slide. I don't really hit the frets with my fingers. I use the slide to play the chords, and I use the slide also to pick out the notes. So I'll just turn the camera around a little bit there. So when you watch the slide, I'm playing chords. And I'm also using the slide to pick out the individual notes on the individual strings. So in terms of the slides that I use, if I'm playing the guitar in the upright position, such as I am right now, the conventional position if you like, I generally have 4 favourite slides. This being my number 1 favourite, which is a fairly heavy brass slide, and it covers my sort of ring finger from my knuckle to the end of my finger, and I put it on the ring finger. Sometimes I put it on the pinky, but I find it's pretty heavy to put on the pinky, and I can control it more if I use the ring finger. Okay, number 2 favourite is this stainless steel slide. Once again, playing in this position, I put it on my ring finger in the same way. This has got a little harsher sound to it, but it's nice and light. So they're quite cheap, quite easy to obtain. I do like them. I also have another brass slide, which is a much lighter slide and smaller diameter, which I tend to put in my pinky, which is nice. Some nice vibrato effect having it on your pinky too, because your finger is a lot more flexible. And lastly, I have a ceramic slide. Yeah, I kind of got mixed feelings about this. I think it's got a nice sound. It's a lot lighter than the brass slide. Once again, I put it on my ring finger, but it tends to get very, very black, which tells me that it's actually wearing my strings down. It leaves a metal residue all over the slide, which I don't like the look of, and I really don't want to wear out my strings that quick, but it's got a nice sound. Anyway, as you can see already, it's formed a black residue there, which I think is actually metal filings. So I tend not to use that much anymore, but they're the main choices I have for when I'm playing it in the conventional position. When I play it in the lie down position or lap style position, I use a bunch of other slides, which I'll talk about in my next little video. Cheers.